I think those are the kind of best. I like it when the conversation is natural. Then every time like the recording starts, I kind of like start thinking too much and start choosing my words and stuff, and I feel like I don't sound so good. I don't know, but
the way that we kind of just do it is just we're having a conversation.
Yeah, that's the best. That's the best.
Because that's what I enjoy the most as well. Just like
Right.
being almost a fly on the wall or something like that, listening. But you were saying you like to listen to podcasts.
Yeah, I love podcasts. Yeah, like definitely I started out with Joe Rogan and yeah, I'm into so many different things. So like learning things. I think older I get, I hated school when I was growing up and, didn't learn much stuff. But older I get, I like to
learn more things.
Yeah, I started understanding the knowledge is what makes us live life better.
Totally.
Yeah, the thinking power and stuff like this. I really enjoy learning.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I like to kind of learn more about something so I can appreciate something better.
Yeah.
Because same with me, the more I get older, I see there's like many different ways of understanding one subject.
Yeah, totally different perspective from, other people and learning not to judge, but understanding where they're coming from, and also to be able to project my idea on it and, see how we can fill the gap in between them and unite the ideas. I'm really into that type of stuff.
I get a lot of practice when like working on clients because I'm always introduced to people that I wouldn't normally interact with or like even go out of my way to know. I can even see inside of myself when I start to meet somebody, I start to maybe judge or start to think of like totally. Imagine I already know where this person's coming from.
Yes.
And then I force myself through it to kind of like get to know that person and my experience with that is way better.
Yeah, totally. It's a great practice. Yeah, I totally feel the same, and I think I go through a very similar process in my mind. And I think every day is a really good. I don't want to use the word discipline in a negative way, but it is a discipline for me to make myself a better person. Yeah,
like a practice or something.
Yeah,
like daily
exactly.
practice. Yeah. No, it's very important, and it's funny. Like a lot of the people that we've kind of sought out to do a podcast,
yes,
there's some sort of connection there where people are, not only just trying to be better artists, but be better people, and maybe make the human experience better for others around them as well.
Yeah, totally. And in the end, it just when ourselves are happier and everybody around you is happier, we get to live better life. And why not? Why not be happier than just being bummed out? Because we only have limited amount of time left on this planet, and there's two choices. You can be happy or you can be bummed out. I would definitely choose the being happy.
Be happy. Enjoy it.
Yeah, totally.
One of the things I've been relearning lately is the balance of my time, because like even though like I'd want to make the best of things and be positive, if I even doing like too much of a positive thing, it gets me overstressed, overstimulated and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because it's like
makes sense.
I think my personality in general is go 100%, and then like. And if it's good, it'll only get better. And I started seeing that a lot lately. And so
I understand.
Trying to work too much, trying to paint too much, trying to travel too much. And then you're just like, I got no more juice.
Yeah, totally. It burns out, and in the end, it becomes counterproductive. Yeah.
Exactly.
It keeping in a nice balance have the most power, the flow of power, and when things comes out naturally. I like that. When I had like a lot of time to paint, then I wasn't under the pressure painting, but to just enjoy it. And I mean, I wouldn't say I like it, but like I I made a stuff that I can be a bit more convinced of, you know. Yeah, I never love my own painting, but you know, some of it is like more acceptable than the others. So yeah, when I had like room in my heart, I definitely make the stuff that I'm a bit more happier with. Yeah.
I really love and enjoy painting, and not even finishing paintings. Like I like the process of it, but I know when I put my attention on like I gotta finish it by this deadline, and that becomes like the main focus, then the whole process or leading up to when I finish it is just like a miserable task.
Right. It becomes a chore of some kind. Yeah. I definitely enjoy the process too. Like when you get in the flow state, like super focus mode, and time and space can transcend in some way, like because you're so focused on what you're doing. I love that state. Yeah, it's like a automatic like meditative state. Yeah,
you're no longer thinking of the next brush stroke or line to put down.
It's just like everything kind of flows out of yourself.
So recently I've relearning it, because I've already known this lesson, but just relearning that, just take it back a notch and focus on the process.
Okay, so I'm sorry, you already knew it before this state? Like, did you do some kind of practice or?
From just my daily kind of practice in general, like I already kind of learned this lesson of I need to take it easy and and balance everything out, but life tends to get the best of you, or
it always piles up on top of you. It's coming always.
And lately I feel like I'm in a really great position where I have a lot of positive things coming to me, and like great opportunity, and you know, meeting a lot of people like yourself, that it's like it's hard to say no to things as well. And so it's like even balancing out all those positive interactions too.
Totally. It's really hard to say no to something sometimes. I don't like disappointing people.
But one of the things I really enjoyed, in other than making art, is even the materials itself. When I kind of first started getting into painting and drawing, I was getting down to the basics of grinding pigments, and,
totally,
making ink and all that stuff. And I still like to kind of geek out or nerd out on that type of stuff. Is that something that you have done as well in your process of being an artist?
Yes, I mean, I'm not educated artist, but pretty much self-taught, and also I have incredible friends with very knowledgeable friends that can help me out. Yes, but I do love the choice of materials. I think it's a part of artwork too. And when everything matches, like choice of material, choice of color, choice of composition and execution, like everything piles up, then it becomes like the building. You build a foundation, and then when the foundation is strong, like you can build a building like higher. So I think choosing a material is a part of building a foundation of artwork. And I can totally see the difference in my painting when I choose different pigments or different paper and stuff. So I mean, I only know a little bit of it, but I really love choosing and going through the process of, like you're saying, the grinding pigments and getting the right consistency to get like a right flow on the paper. So, I really enjoy it. But I don't have teachers, so I'm just like teaching myself as I go. And,
After tattooing for a while, I went to school, not like a particular university, but it's just kind of a small academy.
Was it in Florence?
That was in Florence.
It's like an art academy. Wow, that's amazing.
They didn't really teach materials as much. They kind of just told you what the best was. But then I kind of took it upon myself to do the research and I think in a way, like without being shown, it's kind of more fun. You may make more mistakes along the way, but then with all the mistakes, you have more confirmations in the future of like, okay, definitely gonna leave that alone and work towards this. And so too much instruction, I think it can be detrimental as well.
Right, like it kind of like takes out the thinking process. For me, in this modern world, like we don't have to think much anymore. Everything, the phone does everything for you.
Correct.
There, if you look on the internet, everything's out there, so we don't have to think as much. But this thinking power is the power that made everything happen in this material world. I'm gonna discipline my thinking power, and when there's not much information, I have to think how to make it happen. I really enjoy it. I'm not like, I wouldn't say I'm good at it, but like I enjoy the process of like, oh man, how can I make it happen? Okay, well, this isn't working out. What needs to be done to make the stuff that I want to make? Same as tattooing too, and painting, everything else in life, even cooking. yeah, stuff like that.
One of the things I enjoy doing is if I don't know something, then instead of going straight to Google or like looking it up, like I'll do this with Luana all the time and like friends where we do like a little thought experiment. Okay, what do you think the answer is?
Right.
Once you come up with that thought, kind of deconstruct it and then have to prove to me why you think it works.
Right.
And then after that kind of thought process,
wow, what an amazing exercise. And
then it's kind of fun because by doing that, I remember it better. It sinks in better.
Right.
And I'm actually kind of using the logical part of my brain to kind of problem solve.
That's incredible. But I love fun. That.
I don't know.
I think I think I need to do more of that. Like it's so easy to go up on the Google nowadays.
But it's all stuff that I picked up from other people, like having conversations like this, and just
totally.
It's really good, and I think definitely having the podcast is slowly making me kind of like a better person because I get to pick people's brains who I like maybe look up to, or I don't know, they have a certain something that appeals to me, and I get to get a little bit more of information to kind of propel me ahead.
To inspiration. Totally makes sense.
Now with your paintings, I see you have a lot of great paintings upstairs from the shop, and
thank you.
Those are all originals in the frames?
Yes, those are originals. Do
you find it's really helpful to draw out the whole back pieces the way you're doing in order to prepare for the tattoos?
Yes, I find it very much helpful for me. More I can work on a painting, I can actually think about how I can structure the pieces, compositions, also structure, background, main character, of course, because I pretty much have to do like a freehand, not the main character so much. I make some stencils for the main characters, but background is 100% freehand on the people's body. And more I work out my ideas on paper when I come to on the skin. Actually, unlike I have already kind of like worked out my idea elsewhere, so I can build on top of it. And composition and like structure and size are very, very important for me for the Japanese background, and also the balance with the main subject and how much background that is. So doing more painting of that like helped me a lot. Even just like the size of spirals and stuff, I experiment in a different like curvatures and what would be the next next wind bars, size of next wind bars, how thick should be, where clouds should be coming in, where to place the cloud to break up the lines and stuff like that. By doing painting and sketches, I get new ideas like, oh, what if I try to put a different cloud here and see how it looks? Maybe it made a little bit graphic stronger for me. Then maybe I can use it next time or stuff like this. If that makes sense.
No, it makes total sense.
Yeah.
I try to do as much of that as possible as well. And, when I approach the Japanese tattoos that I do, is same approach where most of the main subject is stenciled on.
Right.
Maybe it's cut up into little pieces if I have to draw the background covering certain areas.
Yes.
But I often do like a number of different sketches. Because when I'm there with the client,
right,
I don't want to have to be thinking. I want to have the thinking part already made up.
Exactly.
And then I can focus more on the actual tattoo.
Exactly. If you the freehand time gets stretched out, and both artist and client both get tired, and you cannot get focused as much on tattooing.
And for me, I get really caught up in what the client's kind of feeling. If I know they're bored or getting tired of sitting around, that affects me too.
Totally. Or just standing for 45 minutes straight. And so definitely, trying to fasten the process for sure. And I think that the new ideas comes when I'm more relaxed too. Then I can sit down and think about it alone rather than having a client in front of me.
Right.
So by doing the sketches and paintings, I can work out new ideas for sure.
And do you typically do like a full tonal painting for a lot of the tattoos you do, or?
No, actually, no. I don't do full painting for the pieces I'm working on. I do the paintings more just get my own ideas out.
Right.
Yes, a lot of back pieces and stuff that I'm working on, have customers' ideas. So for painting, I like to do it 100% my ideas, and something that I would like to do in future.
Yeah. I think that's important as an artist, because we're doing a lot of work for the clients, and so it's almost we have to kind of take it back for ourselves every now and then and do a tattoo for a person that doesn't exist yet, or
right. Yes, exactly, something like that. Yeah.
Have you always been into the Japanese tattooing, or when you started, were you into different styles?
I started, it was completely different style. I started in mid-90s, and I'm very much into motorbikes. I love motorbikes. I used to ride Harleys and
really,
or race motorbikes. So when I started, the tattooing was, for me, it was biker stuff, black and gray, patchwork and stuff like that. And then I started out pieces like this, and slowly, I'm Japanese, so people come to me they ask me Japanese stuff. Then I just automatically started doing Japanese stuff, and as I get older, I start appreciating more and more Japanese cultures. And I'm actually this is incredible stuff. I first did not like the Japanese style because it resembled me, the Yakuzas, and and it was I was attracted to I was invited into those kind of activities when I lived there. I wasn't really gang or mafia and stuff, but I liked do some bad stuff, and the people just kind of oh, maybe you join us or something, and I start hanging around them.
Right.
But I don't know, I didn't really like it. It was I don't know how to explain it, but it was it was really dark. It's really dark world, and as a young person, like I was in like early 20s, and I was like pretty gung-ho, like, oh, you know, I'm gonna be tough, I'm gonna be, you know, thug or whatever. Then I was very attracted to it, and I was kind of looking at people going through some of the dark stuff, like, I'm not sure if I would be able to survive in this.
Right.
You know, you have to be really smart to maneuver between people, and I'm like, I'm not sure if I feel safe. You know, it might be making very big mistake if I join this one. So then, like, I decide not to do it. So from that experience, like, Japanese traditional tattoo was kind of like, you know, it's like these things for Yakuza people, you know, growing up in Japan. So, this is not my style.
Right.
Then after that, moving to America, start professional tattooing, doing black and gray stuff, or whatever, like free stuff it comes. And slowly reintroduced to Japanese stuff, Japanese culture, Japanese tattooing from the other side of, you know, ocean. Then I start appreciating, you know, the grass is always
greener.
Yeah, greener, you know, on the other side. Like, oh my God, it's, you know, actually these cultures are amazing. Then people asking more and more, and then okay, I think I'm gonna study about this. You know, maybe this is not only for gangsters, or, you know, like I could appreciate it because I don't have to be in a scary situation because I was living overseas. Then slowly started switching over to Japanese style, but I was still doing kind of like a modern style until I met Ichibei. You guys know Ichibei? Yeah. Then he was already pushing super classic style in his own way.
Yeah, because even he before wasn't doing a lot of classic.
Right, he was doing a little bit more modern. Actually, when I met him, like first when I met him was 2005, when we are traveling through Japan, Grime and I. Yeah, I used to work with Grime in San Francisco.
Right.
And we went to Japan for a few weeks to promote his clothing company. And Ichibei just showed up in a part of the event with his sketchbook. And we went into this Chinese restaurant, and we, you know, sat on this like round table, and Ichibei sat next to me, and like I didn't even know him. Then he started showing, like, hey, can you look at my sketchbook? And I opened the sketchbook, and it's like incredible stuff. It was, you know, still modern, so like a BioMech stuff that he was doing back then. And I'm like, hey, Grime, you need to check out this guy's sketchbook. You know, it's amazing. And so it left me super strong impression. And a couple of years after I met him again, at the time he wasn't tattooing yet, or he was like apprenticing or in between. And a couple of years after I met him, he was already tattooing super nice stuff, and, you know, started doing more Japanese stuff. And we started hanging out more. He started come to visit San Francisco. He stays with me for, you know, months at a time, and he started showing me stuff like, oh, you know, I got this reference, you should check it out. He's like super nice, like always super nice to like share everything with me. And then at the point I was so attracted to the classic Japanese stuff, like, wow, these things are actually amazing. Then from there, the more and more I started making transition to the classic stuff.
Right.
Then I worked in San Francisco for 15, 16 years.
And was that always with Grime?
No, actually, first few years was this place called Brain Drops. And I went there because, do you know Marcus Pacheco?
Yes.
Yeah, Marcus was like renting out the one room of the studio. So I wanted experience working with him. So I started working there. Then Marcus went to work with Grime. So I followed him. And that's how I started working with Grime. That was 2004, I think.
Incredible.
Yeah, then I worked with Grime from 2004 to end of 2015. Then I relocate to London because Claudia and I got married in 2015, and we wanted to restart, start a family in London. So I decided to move to London. Then between California to London, I was applying for visa for UK, so I had to go back to Japan for a few months. So I stayed with the Three Tides guys.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I went to Three Tides. Masa-san from Three Tides, he's always super nice, and he let me stay at his house for
that's great.
2.5 months straight, his wife taking care of me, making breakfast for me. Then he let me work at Three Tides, right? And there, of course, Ichibe is working there, and also Mutsuo and Horihiro and Nami and all those guys. And those guys has had so much knowledge.
Oh, I bet.
Every day I go to shop and just stay with them, and I was like, oh my god, where do you find these references? And they're like, oh, here, look this. And he just, they totally share everything with me. And then at the time, I'm fully classic. I'm going only, how can I say it? I decide to using only super classical references to build my work on it. Yes. Then from there, I worked Three Tides for maybe almost close to 3 months. Moved to UK. And from there, I just started pushing a classical style.
Now, the references, are they references of older tattoos or from old woodblock prints or drawings from back then?
It's both. Yes. A lot of old tattoo imagery comes from woodblock prints to begin with, but also the tattoo masters from a turn of century, late 1800s to early 1900s, they also had their own style. So a little bit of mix of that, start using that. But I'm after 3.5 years of doing this, and I'm still in the midst of learning these styles, or how they simplify the design from woodblock prints and stuff like this, and how much the background they use and what kind of background and stuff like this. I'm studying those styles still, and I'm trying to build my own style on top of it. I need to see my own voice in my own tattoo rather than just copying some old classics. So but to do that, I need to understand what the classic masters are doing, what they're doing and why they're doing it this way. So working on that, looking all those references and thinking about it and build on top of it. That's I guess where I am now.
I find that to be probably the hardest part of taking all these references and then making your own kind of style or look from it. I've heard a lot of people talk about it's all in the background, the background is where the personality of the artist is, and then staying very close to the meanings and the stories. It seems to be an ongoing conversation in the podcast and outside of what's acceptable, what is an innovation, and what's wrong.
Yes.
But it seems a guy from the U.S. is kind of going through the same thing as a guy from Japan.
Me, I feel I'm not a 100% Japanese person anymore.
No.
I've been living overseas half of my life now, so I have very mixed feeling of this, and but I think I'm just enjoying the process. And I'm just keeping my finger crossed. I hope I can build something on top of it. I think of it every day, and no, it's not going there. Just trying and and I need to study more, but I'm gonna hang out with my baby.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah,
you
all
have
kind
a lot
of
on your
dilemma
plate
happening, and got a shop to run, and yeah, it's all for good times. I enjoy everything of it. Yeah.
It sounds like in the last year or so, you have a lot more responsibilities.
Yeah, it's like having a twin or something. Yeah, shop is our baby too, and also Zenta too. So yeah, but I love it. Yeah,
it's an enjoyable process with the new shop, and
yeah, totally. It's creating our own place to work. Working on our craft, and we can make it how we want, and I think it's part of our artwork. So yeah, I'm super happy with it, and Claudia has incredible vision of it, and super happy how she can execute so much stuff, and I'm only a helper of her vision, but no, it's incredible. I'm super thankful for and of course Teide, both of them. Yeah, I'm super happy and thankful to surrounded with incredible humans. Yeah.
It's an amazing thing that you guys all kind of created here, and the relationship you have with Claudia, and I can kind of see just from studying your guys' work online, it's like how you guys kind of inspired each other as well, especially with some of the collaborations I've seen you guys do, like the back piece in particular. You guys were able to kind of match each other's styles in a way where it didn't look like one person was dominating the style at all. You really worked well together.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you.
But it's pretty cool to see that, and to see like you guys seem like a big power couple in tattooing.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we tried. Believe me, it's not easy work, but I love the discipline, and Claudia loves it too. So I'm really thankful for that. I think it was for anybody else, I don't think we could continue, but she is even harder worker than I am, and yeah, and she is so keen to progress always, and myself too. So it's really of course we have all the time and stuff like this, but we always make it work in the end. Yeah, it's incredible experience. Definitely, I have grew more than ever with her. Yeah, and of course with Denta too, and I'm looking forward to what's coming more after this. Yeah, and the working together on the collaboration piece is super fun too. We're like super loose, but like kind of stubborn, and but we know like when to be loose and when to be stubborn from just knowing each other.
Sure.
Yeah, I like to do more of this. It's a little bit special, isn't it? Like, not many people get to have these pieces because we have to work together, and it's gonna be only a handful of people will have joint back piece from us, and it's like we have created third person for these these pieces, and it's really special. So I think I hope we can do more of this.
I'd be interested to see it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
So you guys have any future plans for the shop in the next couple of years or so, or?
Yeah, that's a good question. My own vision for the shop would be just make most badass tattoo shop, and everybody come here to work. Will have big smile on their face, and super happy to be here. Yeah, I think that's it for the shop. Yeah, I just wanna everybody to enjoy to be here. Yeah, I think it's most important.
That's great.
Yeah.
Awesome. We can wrap it up here if you want.
Okay. Yeah.
I was wondering if you wouldn't mind just telling us how we could get in touch with you in the future if somebody wants to see your work or get tattooed by you in the future.
Right. Yes, of course. I think best way is for tattoo appointment would be email.
Mm-hmm.
Email the shop. It's info@redpointtattoo.com.
Mm-hmm.
Or people can message me on the Instagram, but sometimes those messages are super messy, so it could get overlooked. I have like 20 messages at a time sometimes, so I think, or just call the shop. Yes, please look it up on Google for the phone number.
I don't even know my own phone number. And your Instagram is Warriorism?
Yes, it's Warriorism.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wonderful. I just want to thank you, Yutaro, for making the time to sit down with us. And I know you guys had a lot to plan with working the convention and having the anniversary party and having the guests. And so I feel honored that you make the time for us to do this.
Oh, no, thank you so much. I really enjoy it. And I think it was a great timing to, spend time with you guys and get to know you guys both. And it's amazing, and I hope you guys can use this for something. Definitely. Yeah.
I think a lot of people will enjoy it, especially people that know your work and inspired by what you're doing, and people who aren't familiar with it. If those people exist, then they'll be pleasantly surprised for sure.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I want a hug.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.